Disney is widely known for having some of the most iconic villains of all time. Scar, Jafar, the Shadow Man, Gaston.
Can you read this? There's no pictures.
Well, some people use their imagination.
Belle, it's about time you got your head out of those books and paid attention to more important things. Like me. It's not right for a woman to read. She starts getting ideas and thinking.
Gaston, you are positively primeval.
Why, thank you.
The list goes on. But in recent years, what happened to those scene-stealing classic characters we all know and love? I'll be honest, last year's Puss in Boots just it just reminded me of how much a great villain can make a movie. While you have the badass, literal definition of death, the wonderful, charming crime family syndicate, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, but the standout villain is Jack Horner, the most based, non-complex, amazing character to ever come out in recent years. The fact that he doesn't have an overcomplicated backstory, he's not sympathetic, he's just pure evil, and that's why people love him, because he harkens back to those classic early Disney characters. But nowadays, Disney and Pixar doesn't do that anymore, but rather they decide to have no villain or a twist villain, which I want to make a separate video, but that's for another day. But in general, with most modern animated features, there's no villain, and it's not like every movie needs a villain. I mean, recent Disney masterpieces like Encanto and Onward prove that you don't need a villain. You just need to have a great dynamic between characters and a great family drama, which those movies do have. But with some movies, they just don't. And actually, speaking with Encanto, the main thing, the main Disney problem I'm seeing nowadays is what's recently being called generational trauma, which is a recent trend Disney's doing nowadays, and it's just not working. With Encanto it worked, but with new movies such as Turning Red and Strange World, it just doesn't. Strange World especially, because imagine if we had a villain like John Silver from the movie Treasure Planet, by the way, the most underrated Disney film by far, because remember Far From Home, because we already know that John Silver and Mysterio is the bad guy, but we as the audience know, but the characters don't know. So wouldn't it be cool if we have a villain John Silver in that movie, who would have been trying to manipulate everybody, been out of nowhere, just did that. Obviously we know that they're evil, but the characters don't, and it's a good play on who do we trust and all that stuff.
He'll be coming soon. Can't let them find this.
Who's coming?
The cyborg. Beware the cyborg. Bones? Bones? Can't ring any bells. Must have been a different cyborg. There's a slew of cyborgs roaming this part. Off with you, lad. We best be keeping a sharp eye on this one, eh, Morph? We wouldn't want him straying into things he shouldn't. Oh, I see. Well, I was never much good at games. Always hated to lose.
Me too.
Change in plan, lads! We move now!
And the thing is just they just didn't do it. The movie's fine on its own, but I mean, it's just kind of mid. Same thing with Turning Red. You could have made Tyler the main antagonist, who tried to ruin May's life, her image or whatever like that. You could have made the mom more supportive, but This new trend is just not working. And the weird thing is that Disney knows that people love their previous villains. It's been shown because Disney is willing to make like their own separate films, such as Maleficent or Cruella. And the thing is that like those movies, whatever your opinion is about them, they do work. And especially in my opinion, what mainly is sad is like you guys remember the amazing songs that would have been that were like standouts back in the day. Remember songs like Poor Unfortunate Souls, Friends on the Other Side, Hellfire, Gaston, like such amazing hits that showed 10 times more character than the villains have like nowadays. I like the last villain song we had was Shiny, and Tamatoa wasn't even the main villain. And on the Pixar side, it's not good either. Like I said with Turning Red, there isn't any real villain. Like Pixar may have started like the twist villain era, which I will save for another day, but even still, their villains were once amazing. Now movies, even if we get a villain, they're either a twist villain or just mid. Like a perfect Pixar movie, for example, is Soul. Like Terry isn't like a villain. Like that doesn't count. She's just doing her job. And Luca just has like this European kid who's like a bully. That doesn't, come on, that doesn't count either. Like I think a perfect example to tell you this is I'm just gonna show you these clips between Cars 1 with Chick Hicks and Cars 3 with Jackson Storm, and you'll see why.
Hey, Lightning! Yo, McQueen! Seriously, that was some pretty darn nice racing out there. Fight me!
Wow, thank you, Mr. McQueen. You have no idea what a pleasure it is for me to finally beat you.
Oh, thanks. Wait, hang on, did you say meet or beat?
I think you heard me.
What?
Storm! Can we get some pictures? Yeah, come on, let's get a picture.
Hey, where you been, McQueen? I've been kind of lonely. Nobody to hang out with. I mean, except the Dynaco folks. Oh, and the twins, of course.
Nice costume. Come here, let's get a picture. It's so great to meet my #1 fan.
What a jerk.
Kid's just trying to be a hero, huh? Well, what do you think of this? Yeah, that's it, kid.
Hey, costume girl! You know, at first I thought you were out here because your GPS was broken.
Don't listen to him, Cruz.
You look good. It's important to look the part. You can't have everyone thinking that you don't deserve to be here.
He's trying to get in your head.
Look, you see what I mean? Like, the difference between Cars 1 and Cars 3 is because you could tell with Chick Hicks, he has more charisma and more of a narcissistic behavior, but with Jackson Storm, it's just more of like a dickhead cockiness. It's not even that charming or memorable. It's just your basic generic evil stuff, I guess, you know? And I think the two biggest offenders of this like no villain or just bad villain whatever thing is Frozen 2 and Raya and the Last Dragon. My problems with Frozen 2 is this. Frozen 2 is just such wasted potential. Like, I understand why they made them, like, I understand why they made it, you know, money, and it is widely known that Frozen 2 was rushed into production and it was just like hastily put together. It wasn't any fault on the creators. It was Disney just forcing it so that they could make a quick sequel. It's not their fault. But first off, the movie milks Han being evil from the last movie. You have so many references and just like so many callbacks to it. It's like, okay, we get it. It was such a cool quotation marks here reveal.
Lion, grizzly bear, monster, brown bear, angry face, black bear, Hans,
unredeemable monster.
greatest mistake of your life. We didn't even kiss you.
Villain.
Oh, we all kind of got it.
Wasn't looking where I was going, but I'm great. Actually.
Prince Hans of the Southern Isles.
I get it!
Like, there's no stakes or consequences. I mean, like, the whole, you know, Arendelle, they're all evacuated. I mean, like, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen to them? There's no real growth and development for the characters. I mean, if you were to say Elsa went through some change, I mean, sure. Kristoff, he just fucked off in the woods on it. I don't even remember what she did. And you could have made the grandfather like the main villain with like the ice flashbacks or whatever, but like you didn't. So like I don't even know what's going on there. Frozen 2 was just so mid. With Raya and the Last Dragon, you had so much potential, especially with that one, to have like a great villain. I mean, like, just think about like how cool it would have been to like show the rivalry between okay, I forget their names, but still, I remember like in the movie they have like this bond as friends, and then later on throughout the movie we have these two people like geeking out over dragons, and I'm just like, what the hell's going on? And you have this final act over like we need to trust each other, and I'm like, I don't think this is like a good message. And the fact that they reconcile so quickly is just, I just don't get it, you know? I mean, like, it's weird. It's weird. And, you know, I mean, like, it's not to say that these movies are like horrible, but you can definitely tell if these movies had a villain, it would greatly impact and heavily help the narrative of the story and where they're trying to go with these characters. Because if you don't really have an antagonist to like truly threaten our heroes, then like you're kind of working against yourself here, you know? Because Wreck-It Ralph breaks the internet. That was what we're in some Frozen 2 territory again with some we don't need a sequel. But you have like this weird relationship with Vanellope and Ralph that wasn't in the first movie, and it's just weird, you know? I mean, like, I don't understand it. And the thing is like, Disney just doesn't understand how to do villains anymore, and Pixar as well. So that's why I feel like Disney villains are being ruined and affect the story as a whole. Make sure you like and subscribe for my eventual video about the problems with Disney and their twist villains. And in my opinion, the main culprit, the main criminal for this cavalry of Cavalier is none other than...
If only there was someone out there who loved you.